Hey guys, Live Free here. I'm going to take a closer look to my soldering station I have here. It's a Weller soldering station, and this is a Weller Wesd51 digital soldering station, and it takes that PES51 soldering pen or pencil or whatever you want to call it. So to look, let's do a warm up here. I like to solder at 550. So let's see how she heats up. Any second now it'll start kind of just blinking numbers out. Maybe. I hope. There we go. You can see heat up. I like to go at 550. So I'd probably take and say I've been watching on the monitor, the viewfinder right now, or it only took under 30 seconds to heat up. I mean, that's pretty good, and it's pretty much ready to go now. And give or take a few seconds. I mean, I think 550 is pretty good for soldering. Today what we're going to be doing is I'll show you some of the things that I'm going to be using to solder. We're going to be changing. I use a lot of hard case lipos, so I like these bullets. They fit in, and this is no good. I don't use this. This is going to be this Dean's plug, okay? So we're going to be installing a Dean's on here using some of these things. This is a third-hand device. Got that. We got a wire brush, some solder. This is the solder that I use. This is 6040 rosin core solder. Well, it's pretty small diameter. It's 0.32 diameter. I like the thin stuff. It melts easier. It's easier to handle. I wouldn't go ultra thin. This stuff isn't ultra thin, but I think this is the perfect diameter to if you're going to work on RCs and stuff. If you go bigger, it takes longer to melt, and if you go smaller, it takes a longer time to fill wires and do the job. So, and then some of the other things. I bought some shrink tubing, basically to cover your ends of your wires. Sometimes it comes with it on there, but if you mess up or if it sticks or something like that, these things, the shrink tubing will, you have to throw it away. It won't work right, and it'll look like crap if you use electrical tape. So these are real cheap. Got these at Home Depot. I got an assortment pack. You can see the bigger sizes and stuff, and I got a standard size pack, which is about the average size of wire, and these will shrink to approximately half of the diameter that you see at the state now. So if you see those are way too big, that's okay. It'll shrink down to about half the size. Alright, I'm gonna get set up here and do some soldering. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright guys, Live Free back here. I'm going to tin the tip of the soldering iron. Just put a little bit on here. Actually, I put a lot of it on there. And this is just for the first time. Have to put a little bit extra on there. Let's go ahead and heat this joint up. A little more in there. Heat this joint right up. I'm just going to tin this wire up. Notice I'm not trying to put any on right away. It's not what you want to do. You want to let that wire get hot before you start to add to it. It's a really thick wire. These wires are actually pretty thick, so it's not going to be instantaneous on this one. It's definitely getting hot now. There we go. Soldering is about patience too, guys. This isn't a 1 second job. You gotta have patience with soldering. Keep your iron right on there. Don't take it off. Let that solder just burn right into that wire. That's what you want to do. Flick off your extra, clean your tip off a little bit. And here in the background, I'm cleaning on a sponge. Put a little bit more solder back onto your tip. Keep your tip with solder on it all the time.